statistics about mental health, including suicide. So if you need to step away, do what you need to do to take care of yourself. But just to let you know. And this part is directly from the strategies that Stacy mentioned earlier. So that's just a piece of it, but there are more. There is more to it on the website. And I can drop the link to the study about COVID effects on LGBTQ folks as well. I'll do that once I'm done sharing my screen. Okay. Did everyone get a chance to look that over? Okay. I will go ahead and stop sharing then. So now that you've all had a chance to read this resolution, I wanted to talk a little bit about why it's important. And I mean, it kind of did already, but I just think it's really important that we take this active and preemptive step in protecting some of the most vulnerable members of our campus community. And this is just one simple way to do it. And it may seem frivolous, but to those of us who rely on things like pronouns being listed right next to our name, it really means a lot. And if anyone has any questions or anything, just let me know.
Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns, or motions potentially after maybe a discussion? Ari?
Yeah, one concern I've noticed just primarily within the Zoom setting in classes is that professors tend to not put the option of renaming oneself. So trying to put pronouns in is difficult, or I can't change my name. So I think just being able to implement that one practice, if we can send this resolution to professors in particular, that would be wonderful. Or I mean, I'll share it with my professors for sure, just because it'd be nice to have that option to be able to rename myself, just to ensure that we're implementing these practices and creating a safe environment. So yes, thank you again, Ezra.
Sabrina?
I just wanted to say thank you again for all the hard work and advocacy that you do. It's a pleasure to be and share this space with you. And then I was also going to see I'm in a Spanish class, and so listing pronouns can be harder since it is a very gendered language. So if maybe there's a way we can work on being more inclusive, I know my professors try their best, but if I can try and look for more resources, but I just know that's a space where it just tends to be hard for them. So thank you.
Thank you. Lauren?
Yeah, I also wanted to say thank you for doing this work. I think it's super important, and like a previous senator said, I'm very honored to share this space. To address a previous senator's concern, you can go in your advanced setting on your Zoom and change and add your pronouns, like your name for your account, if that helps. I don't know, I went in and did that and added my pronouns in. So.
Oh, Ezra, did you have something to respond with?
Yeah, I just wanted to respond to the comments made about the rename feature being disabled, and that is one of the specific recommendations that I did include in this resolution for that reason, because if we want people to be to utilize pronoun and pronoun visibility, they have to be able to rename themselves in the first place. So that is definitely a strong priority recommendation.
Thank you. Madeline?
Thank you for the presentation. I thought it was really comprehensive. I just was wondering what the next move is. Is it something we approve? I'm just wondering.
Ezra, I see your hand is raised, so I'm not sure if that's something that you would want to talk about, or I can talk about it. So if there's a motion to approve it today, or there could be a motion to table it for future discussion if people want to look into the resolution more, look into the research more. But if it is approved today, typically the process for resolutions is that it's approved at the ASG Senate level, and then it goes to faculty Senate and is generally spread throughout the campus community so that, thank you, Ezra, so that more people can see it and be aware of the resolution and the work that ASG is doing in Senate. But typically the process is that it's approved in Senate and then it goes to faculty Senate for approval. So there's been other resolutions that ASG has passed in the past, and it's gone to faculty Senate and then it gets approved at faculty Senate, and then now it's in policy. So for example, the veterans getting priority registration, that was something that was passed in ASG, and then it went to faculty Senate, was approved there, and then now it's a part of the policy. Dennis?
Thank you. Sorry, I was trying to look through the whole document to find anything about misgendering. And so I am seeing something and I'm not able to read it like right now, but I wanted to ask if there was like I guess protocol or anything that happens if professors or staff or anyone is actively or intentionally misgendering folks, or if not, they're not taking their pronouns seriously or their identity seriously. I know that could be borderline, like obviously discrimination, but also I feel like something like misgendering someone isn't seen at USD as a negative thing, unfortunately. So yeah, if anyone can kind of speak to that, I was just wondering if there was some type of, I guess, like consequence to that.
Ezra?
I think that that could be taken to the Title IX office, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But you're right that misgendering isn't always seen as such a harmful act that it is. And so by starting practices like this, it reinforces how important correct gendering is and how harmful misgendering is, because the reality is, as Stacy said, correct pronouns and correct gendering is suicide prevention.
Great point. Thank you, Ezra. Does anyone have any other questions, comments, concerns, potential motions? Fantasy, I see your hand is raised, but I'm not sure if that was intentional.
Yes.
Oh, shit. Sorry, Fantasy, you're muted.
Yes, I move to approve this resolution titled Gender Conscious and Affirming Practices.
Second.
There is a motion on the floor, have been seconded to approve resolution gender conscious and affirming practices. Is there any further discussion? If not, please cast your votes.
Madam Speaker, point of information.
Yes, Lauren.
I understand using the raised hand function so that it doesn't disappear so quickly, but also some people raise their hands before they call for the vote, so I think it might be a little confusing in case some people do have further discussion before a vote.
Thank you. I think that it's important for senators before the discussion is closed, before it comes to a vote, because if there's no further discussion, then I would ask for, is there any further discussion? And then I say, please cast your votes. If not, please cast your votes. So I think if senators wait until I say, please cast your votes, it prevents confusion about who's raising their hand for comments and who's raising their hand preemptively in a yes fashion, because that would happen as well with the nonverbal feedback. People would start clicking yes before I would say cast your votes, so I can see that happening again. So I think waiting until I say, if there's no further discussion, please cast your votes, until you start clicking yes or no or abstain, that would be helpful. But thank you, Lauren. Okay, motion passes. Thank you, everyone. The resolution has been approved. Moving on to our next item of business is spring 2021 allocations review. So Rafa, oh, Madeline, do you have your hand raised? Harrison, would you like to say anything? Okay. So Rafa, you have the floor.
All right, hello everyone. As I mentioned earlier, the Finance Committee met this during break, trying to reallocate the excess funds that we have, and we came down to the conclusion. Let me share my screen. 1 second. So this is the new updates that we had. As you can see, we allocated 700,000, close to 800,000. So And we have still remaining of 371. But if you remember from our last allocations or the first allocations for the spring, the amount was 618. So we pretty much did a lot of new distributions and new allocations for this spring. And this is how the distribution works. 500,000 for the executive team, 112 for TPB centers, 144, and the ops and the credits on 21,000. Is there any questions regarding these numbers, regarding a specific budget for any center or any executive team member? Yes, Sabrina.
I was just wondering if you could reach out to BSRC again, because I noticed that they're the only ones who haven't updated their budget. So I'm just concerned that maybe they didn't get the email or something, because they have like one of the lowest ones and it hasn't been updated.
Thank you, Sabrina, for that question. I always reach out to them and I give them a deadline, like probably more than a week, trying to, if you have any relocations to do, I try to be very flexible with the centers, with everyone. If they don't submit anything, I will assume that they don't want to do any more relocations, but everyone has the same opportunity and to ask for more funding. Yes, Sabrina.
Are we able to just check in with them again, or has the deadline passed? Because they're the only ones. So I know they had a week like everybody else, but just since they're the only ones who didn't respond, and it may have occurred during break, I'm just concerned that somehow it was missed.
The next reallocations probably is going to be quarter 3, which is close, probably next month. I will ask them to do more reallocations if that's necessary. So,
Thank you.
any more questions? Questions, concerns about the new updates that we did?
Fantasy.
Thank you. So if we were to approve it, does that still mean that we have $371,818 left?
Yes, that's correct.
And would that go to a different quarter, or would we have to do that as soon as possible, allocate that?
We need to allocate it as soon as possible before the semester ends, so that money doesn't just go away, but instead, well, it goes to the endowment, but still, if we want to allocate it to a specific thing, we need to do it before the semester ends.
Fantasy.
Thank you. Just to, I guess, shed light on a question in the chat, can the members of the public access this document?
There is another version that is for the public, for everyone. Is in the ASG website that I'm almost finishing, so it's able and open for everyone, to the public in general. I haven't done it yet because first Senate needs to vote on these relocations, and in order for me to put these new amounts.
Fantasy. Sabrina?
So just a question or point of clarification. So what we can do is move to approve the new allocations for this semester, right? Is that like a motion we're able to do?
That's correct.
Okay. I move to approve the allocations for this semester.
Second.
There is a motion on the floor having been seconded to approve the spring 2020 reallocations. Is there any further discussion? Fantasy?
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I'm really trying to like be detailed about going through this and really going through everyone's budget. And I know we got it sent to us a couple days ago, but I feel like it just takes even more time to really go through it and dive deep. I just do wanted to express a concern about like on-campus engagement opportunities from TPB. I understand that it says they're following COVID-19 guidelines, but I guess I would just voice my concern that it is probably not the $35,000 is not the best usage of that, especially since we are like COVID is pretty much changing every single day. And so I don't know if that's a priority, but that's just my only concern I'm seeing right now. I just wanted to express that before we vote, but I strongly urge y'all to just really take this really detailed. There's a lot of money that is going into things that we're trying to do. And I think we should be super intentional and super cautious and careful about where this is going to. And so just being intentional about where we're spending it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Lupe?
Hi, thank you for mentioning that to the previous senator. I'm more than happy to explain. This is also just, and I completely understand your concerns, and I agree with you. It's all. I just wanted to kind of. Oh, am I allowed to explain, considering the budget, or no? I don't know if budget finance rules. Sorry, with the Roberts rules, I know in finance we're not. I'm gonna keep not explain, but just further expand on it in the sense that there's around 800 students, I believe, who are currently on campus. And so with the on-campus engagement kind of is referencing to just buying activities for students to be able to do this within their dorms. And then also with the Core Connect, which is the groupings considering the most restricted right now, it's to allow like Outdoor Adventures is currently doing a program activity, almost 1,000 students on campus, and they're currently doing an activity that allow students to explore the campus on their own. And so we help fund the giveaways to have incentivize students to leave their dorms, but while still doing it in a safely manner. However, I fully understand what the Student Senate votes and furthermore. So I'm always happy to clarify on that if any of you would like to reach out to.
Fantasy?
Yeah, thank you. And I'll just say, if I heard that correctly, that project, I guess, will be collaborating with the Core of Four, which is another $15,000, which is a really good amount of money for 1,000 students specifically. And I'm not saying they're like any less than any other students. It's more just, I know that we really pay attention to the, I guess the ratio of like how much we're spending on who we're spending and how many people we're spending it on. And this is not to bash them, like trying to have fun amidst the pandemic. I definitely get it. I'm just trying to think about doing the math. That's a lot of $1,000 that's going into those activities that I, at least as a first year, maybe thought that the LLCs were trying to somewhat help with that and kind of like initiate the collaboration and the fun for students on campus. But that just might be my understanding. And I don't know what it's like on campus amidst COVID. So just wanting to voice that as well. So thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Fantasy, is your hand raised? If there's not any further discussion, there is a motion on the floor having been seconded to approve the spring 2021 reallocations. So if there's no further discussion, please cast your votes. Motion passes. So Rafa, are you done sharing your screen?
Yes, Maya.
Thank you. Well, that brings us to final business and hearing of the public. At this time, any senator may take from the table any motion previously laid on the table in the meeting the week before. So that would be November 12th meeting, or present urgent business. Any member of the public may voice any concerns to the assembly on non-agenda items. So if your hand is raised at this moment, I'm assuming that you want to partake in hearing of the public. Jen?
Madam Speaker, do you mind if I go towards at the end when everyone else is gone? Is that okay?
Yep. Megan Womack.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to keep my hand raised.
No problem. Sean?
Same here, I'm sorry.
No problem. It's a learning curve. Fantasy?
Yes, thank you. Just kind of something random that pertains to me, but I don't know if it pertains to other folks, whether they're senators or members of the public or anyone who's joining us. I know that if I'm not mistaken, we still get Grubhub credits for each meeting. And at least from where I'm located right now, I do not have access to Grubhub, Uber Eats, or DoorDash. It is like a local delivery. And so I was just wondering if anyone knows like who I could go to talk to about that, or if that could be something that we just find an alternative for folks who can't necessarily use Grubhub or it's not accessible to them.
Fantasy, to address a previous senator's point, if a senator is not in a position to receive or access Grubhub, please contact me, and then I'll get in contact with the appropriate people, and we'll work it out.
Valerie?
Hey everyone. I have a couple things, so I'm gonna try to remember. My first thing is a question about the ASG grant applications. From my understanding, there's two. So there's one for a research grant, and then there's one for a creative grant. And then I tried going on the link and looking more into it, but I couldn't find any more explanation or information about the creative grant. So I'm wondering if anyone here can elaborate on that or send me some links that I can look at, something revolving that. And then my other thing was about the resolution that was passed. Oh wait, should I wait for a response and then go on, or should I just say it all?
I think AJ has his hand raised to answer your first question. If I'm correct.
Okay, cool.
If you want to answer that.
Yes, hi. Would you mind dropping your email or DMing me in the chat, and I could do a follow-up if you'd like? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I put it in the chat. So my second point was about the resolution that was given by Ezra. I'm wondering like how I wasn't able to read thoroughly through the resolution just because I just got the link. But I'm wondering how students, in addition to putting our like pronouns and all of that, how student leaders in our organization, student organizations can help. I'm understanding of, you know, opening acknowledgements and things of that nature in our mission statement and things like that. But I'm wondering if there's a way like maybe student orgs committee can integrate this into like some kind of training or into like encouraging it into the bylaws, things like that. But anyway, any other ways like students can also, of course, help out.
Ezra?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. So one of the things that Stacy mentioned before the resolution was presented was the Safe Space Allies workshops. So that is definitely one that I would really encourage anyone to take part in, as well as Rainbow Educators for Groups. And then also on the LGBTQ plus and Allies Commons website, there are those 7 strategies for gender affirming practices that include listing your pronouns, using inclusive language, things like that. So those are really easy, basic first steps. But I am also the chair of the Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity Committee. And if you're interested in working on some like programming for student orgs, I can drop my email in the chat, and either you can work with that committee or student org, or both. But there's definitely ways to get student leaders more involved.
Point of privilege, I just have to attend another meeting.
Taken well. Val?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Ezra, for the resources. I'm definitely going to look into them. My next point, oh my gosh, hold on, let me try to remember. Oh, my question about the budget is I'm wondering, are there any initiatives that are, I'm sure there are, but are there any initiatives by ASG to help students in terms of the circumstances of the pandemic itself and low-income students or low BIPOC students who might need more resources, such as maybe, I know there used to be grants for textbooks and things like that, but are those things still in place? I'm wondering if there's also like more allocations towards the food pantry. I know I've been using the food pantry and it's been extremely helpful, but it's still also, I still have to go to, you know, the grocery store and things like that. So I'm wondering, are there like grocery gift cards, things like that? I don't know, some kind of initiatives to help students during these times.
Dr. Avery, where's yours?
Sure. So that's a great question, Valerie. Thank you for that. Yes, ASG has been extremely committed to supporting our students who have specific needs. So in the email that was sent out by Vice President Vasquez last Friday, the last link in there is for students who need some assistance, either with textbooks or technology, any barriers they might be having to be able to fully participate in classes this semester. And so far, I think I have had 50 students apply to that. So there's a link right there. It's also linked in the student guide to spring 2021. And the food pantry does have all of the money that it needs right now, although we have not been in a place to give out gift cards this semester. But if any student is interested in learning about how to apply for CalFresh, which might be another option, they can just let me know and I'll get them connected.
Thank you, Dr. Avery. Val?
Awesome. Thank you for your help again, Dr. Avery. If you could send the link again, I don't think I got it in the chat, but that would be extremely helpful. And then my last question, Actually, I forgot. I'm gonna have to come. I'll raise my hand again if I remember. But thank you all for your help.
Thank you, Val. Justin?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good afternoon, everyone. I just came back from University Senate, which ended pretty early. I just have a couple updates from the Provost's office in regards to the spring semester. They received information on clarity on where they can go forward since the government took California out of the stay-at-home order. However, California still, or San Diego County still remains in the purple tier. So due to that, an announcement on what happens next will come out from the provost in the coming days or next week. But I just want to let you all know beforehand that because we remain in the purple tier, we will remain in remote learning until we get out. What we do know is that we cannot go into hybrid as was originally hoped next week, and this will continue until further notice. Up until then, everything will just remain fluid until there are any new updates in regards to county guidelines. Thank you.
Thank you. Val?
Thank you. I finally remembered in regards to the discussion about like TPB and opportunities and events. I am a commuter student myself, and I don't really see, I don't know if it's like my emails that I'm subscribed to or like the people I follow on Instagram, but I don't really see like opportunities for commuter students to also gain from these on-campus events. I'm wondering if there are like strategies we can put in place to market to commuter students, or also maybe like if you're doing kind of like, I know TPB did some like gift baskets for like Halloween or something like that, but if we could do maybe like a drive-in or like drive-through pickup, curbside pickup, or if students don't have access to transportation or like vehicles, but they're on campus, like scheduled by appointment kind of thing, to also just mitigate the risk of getting the virus or the spread. But I'm just like wondering if we can help out the commuter students as well, or like how they can benefit.
We've reached our allotted time for this agenda item. If anyone would like to extend the time with the motion, they could do so now.
Sean?
I move to extend the time by 5 minutes.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor, having been seconded, to extend final business and hearing of the public by 5 minutes. Is there any further discussion? If not, oh, AJ, do you have something to say?
Sorry, no, that was
Okay. If not, please cast your votes. Motion passes. Val, you can continue.
That was the end of my question. So I don't know if anyone has a response, or if not, that's okay. Just wanted to put that out there as well.
Lupe.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. So in regards to the events, yeah, they've been mentioned in the Blue Bus, but not explicitly saying like if you're off campus you can come either. So I can also just be sure to be more explicit. But yes, if in regards to doing things on campus and for drive-by pickup, that's totally possible. And thank you for bringing up the appointment slots. That's something I can definitely bring back to the team in consideration for the rest of the semester. And then I will also just work on being more on the verbiage that I use in the Blue Bus, that it's not necessarily only for on-campus students, but also that commuter students are welcome too. And you're also more than welcome to email me if anything else comes to mind. But yeah, thank you for those points.
Before Jen speaks, I just wanted to make a quick announcement. So there's still $371,000 left in excess funds that we have for ASG. So I just wanted to put that on the senator's radar that that much money is left. So please get to brainstorming and thinking of ideas of how to make USD a better place and how we can use those funds. So if you have any ideas, just let me know. Either you can email me, and you should all have my email, but I can drop it in the chat again. Lauren?
Kind of, sorry. Who was the advisor for the health and wellness coordinator, if I may ask?
I believe it was Claire, but someone can check me on that if I'm incorrect. Claire from the Wellness Center.
Okay, thank you.
Jen, if you would like to speak now.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy 2021. SAI staff and I just wanted to welcome you all back to spring semester. We missed you. We hope your break was as restful and what you needed as possible. We just wanted to, remind you, like Maya mentioned, that there's trainings coming up. We're very excited to be able to continue as much development and opportunities to learn in your student leader positions. So we look forward to having you all there. And as always, we are a resource to you all, so please, any of us on our team are available for you all. On a side note, we just wanted to share a campus-wide email went out last week. One of our valued colleagues, our Assistant Vice President for Wellness, Dr. Melissa Halter, unexpectedly passed away. She, as many of you may recall, she was at one of our last Senate meetings of the fall semester. And so we just wanted, if you all had not seen that email, please note that it is a very, very big loss for the USD community. I always talk about why I love USD, and one of the main reasons is because it feels like a family, feels like a community. And so this loss is really big for our community, and the work that she did for students and for everyone, especially around COVID, was insurmountable, and just everything. So we wanted to let you all know that, and I know that some of you may know her, had a relationship with her. We're sending you all lots of love, and we'll be following up with an email on what resources that are available that you all can consider if you all need that. And please note that we ask for good thoughts and prayers, if you are able to the community during this time. So just wanted to let you all know we don't want to forget her, and just so that you all know, she's made a big impact to ASG students and our community. So that's all. We love you all. Let's continue on this semester, working hard for your community. So excited to see what this semester will bring, and we'll do it together. So good to see you all, and that's all for me.
Thank you, Jen. We're here for you too.
We've reached our allotted time, or our extended time for this agenda item, just letting everyone know.
Are there any motions? Lauren?
If there's no further discussion, I move to adjourn today's meeting.
Second.
There is a motion on the floor, having been seconded to adjourn today's meeting. Is there any further discussion? If not, please cast your votes. Motion passes. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.